Good afternoon, everyone. It's June 6, 2020. I've been asked a couple of times, whose side am I on? Am I for the rioters, looters, or am I for the police? Well, I'm not for either one of you. I do not condone the occupation of law enforcement. The reason this is simple. There's a library filled with our laws, and that's the exact opposite of free. And the existence of an enforcement branch of that library of laws is to enforce those multitude of laws. That's what they're there for. Freedom and a library of laws cannot occupy the same nation at any given time at the same time. They are conflicting ideas. So I'm not for the police. But on the other hand, I don't think unorganized, well, to some degree it has been organized by BLM, Antifa, the George Soros groups, but it's not they're being used in such a way by the ruling class as to become cannon fodder in what looks like it may end up slipping into a civil war. That's the idea. And they're going to hold back the United Nations troops until there is, plenty of evidence that a civil war is going on. It's very obvious. That's when they'll start using the United Nations. I saw an article just a few minutes ago talking about how the National Guard there in Washington, D.C. was disarmed before tonight's little deal. I wonder how that's going to go. I don't imagine that's going to go very well, do you? They're being used as cannon fodder. So, I'm on the side of freedom, all right? And not freedom just for me. Freedom for everybody. Freedom for those in Africa. Freedom for those in Europe. And so on and so forth. In the United States, the whole continent, everywhere, freedom. That's what I'm for. That's what I want. But there's a lot of people out there who will inflict violence on somebody who demands their freedom. And that's really the purpose of law enforcement, is to inflict violence on people who demand their rights, who demand their freedom. And likewise, the rioters are doing the exact thing to random innocent people that they're bitching about with the police. See what I'm saying? So BLM, they can fuck off. The New York Police Department, they can fuck off. All of the police departments can fuck off. Antifa and people who support them, or the latter, BLM, can fuck off. I'm on the side of freedom and only freedom. That's it. That is my agenda. That's what I care about. Freedom from motherfuckers like Bill Gates. George Soros. And the rest of the billionaire freaks have, man, they've jumped overboard. They're lost. There's only one I can think of that actually sounds halfway decent, and that's Elon Musk, but I'm at odds with that guy too. That's the only one I can say, hey, at least he said something. At least he's doing something different than what all the other dickhead billionaires are doing. So, my side is, and my agenda is freedom. That's it. What does freedom look like to me? Freedom to me looks like not having to answer to a so-called higher authority when somebody sees something I've done as wrong. Take smoking pot, for example. Say somebody saw me smoking pot, and now, as it sits right now, my neighbors can call the police on me and rat me out, and these violent thugs will show up at my door because of it. That's not freedom. Now, but I want your freedom too. I want your freedom to be able to defend yourself against thugs. How much easier would it be for everyone to be armed? And how much easier would it be for everyone to defend themselves right there on the spot, as opposed to becoming victims and relying on the state to inflict their violence for them? It doesn't make any sense. It's better to inflict the violence for yourself. So, my side will always be for freedom. I don't care about money. I don't care about material goods. I only care about freedom. You can try to bind me with religion. Won't happen. You can try to bind me through statism. Ain't gonna work. You can try to bind me, but I always find a way to break free of those bindings. So, no, I'm not for either side in this so-called conflict. I'm only for freedom, the side of freedom, and neither of these sides represent that. See, the way I see it is, one side already has the power to inflict legal consequences and status consequences on you, and the other side is striving to gain that power, as opposed to the one that already exists. And then that's when they inflict their brand of authoritarianism on the population through different means. It could be a civilian, army of some sort, like maybe similar to the Brown Shirts or something, and then go around and kill the rich people. And I'm not talking about billionaire rich people. I'm talking about the guy that invented something and lives decently off of that. And these are not the rich people I have a problem with, by the way. It is those at the very top who use their money to throw their weight around, to social engineer, to create strife, division, hatred, all that shit. They are the ones I have a problem with. They are the ones that should be hung. They are the ones who are causing all of the world's problems. If these people did not exist and we had a government, then the government would be answering to us as opposed to those billionaires. But as it sits now, our government answers to people like George Soros, Bill Gates, Ted Turner, and the Rothschilds, Queen of England, the Catholic Church, the Jews. That's who we really answer to. Or that's who our government really answers to, not us. And it's because they have the money to buy the government. They have the lobbyists, right? They make the campaign contributions on both sides, by the way. And Rothschilds funds both sides of everything. Everything. Same with the Rockefellers. They fund both sides of everything. So, what we got going on right now is we got a group of people who already hold the power of the state to inflict violence on anybody they wish, and we have another group fighting to gain that power. And if they gain that power, there's going to be a massive civil war, flat out. There may be one anyway. Because white people are only going to take so much. It's a small minority of whites that are social justice warriors. And as far as I'm concerned, those whites can stay exactly where they're at. So, I thought I would give you my take on which side to be on, or why I'm not on either side, more specifically. Because both sides represent authoritarianism, and that's the exact opposite of freedom. Till next time, kill the state, live free.